Hey guys, it's Liam here. Really great to do another one of these morning devotions with you. We're going to be looking at the book of James. So if you've got a Bible nearby you or your phone, then just grab that so you can read along as well. And we're going to look at James chapter 1, verses 9 to 12. Just a little bit about the context of the book of James and who he's writing to. He's writing to a whole bunch of Christians who are facing some really tough times and going through trials. And James is writing to them and he wants to encourage them. He's saying, keep on going. He wants them to persevere in the faith that they have. But all of a sudden in these verses, he seems to take a very different direction. And he starts to talk to them about money. Let's have a look at verses 9 and 10 first of all. They say, believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position, but the rich should take pride in their humiliation. Now, first of all, you might have read that and thought, what does it mean to take pride? Surely that's not something that Christians should do. They shouldn't be to boast in things. Well, what James is saying is, no, you need to take pride in your position in the gospel. All of what Jesus done, we don't bring anything to the table, but because Jesus has taken away our sin and he's meant that we can be in relationship with God. That is good news for all people. So for those in humble circumstances, like it says in verse 9, well, the gospel is good news. It means that we are all spiritually rich because of what Jesus has done for us. It means that we have a high position, far higher than any position that we can get in this world because of the money that we have. I don't know about you, but in our culture, society, and through adverts, we can receive a whole bunch of messages that tell us, well, if you just have this, or if you just manage to get this product, then you will have the life that you always dreamed of. Then you will find that happiness. Yet James is saying, no, we need to boast in the gospel because we already have all the wealth that we could need. He then flips it, and in verse 10 he says, for the rich should take pride in their humiliation. That seems like an odd word for us to use. We think of humiliation as a moment when you're utterly embarrassed. Why would anyone want to take pride in that? But James uses the word humiliation as humility and being humble, to accept that despite your wealth and anything that we can try and get in this world, really, without Jesus, we have nothing at all. And that's a challenge to us all, isn't it? I'm sure we're all guilty of ways that we try and put our trust in things. So often we try and build stuff around us to try and get protection. If I can just get this around me, then I'll have that comfort and that security in my life that I'm after. Yet this passage shows us in verse 11 that all of that is really just futile. Verse 11 says, for the sun rises with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich will fade away even while they go about their business. James is saying that this wealth is a little bit like a wild flower. It may look pretty, but it is easily taken away, just like a plant that can be scorched by the sun. And during this time up and down the country, we've seen many people experience that, where the things that they put their trust in and built their lives upon have all of a sudden been taken away. That's why James tells the rich to take pride in their humiliation, because it shows them just how much they need to depend on Jesus. And that's a lesson that we all need to learn and keep on learning, because we're so often guilty of putting our trust in things around us rather than putting our trust in Jesus. How are we meant to do this? Well, that's where verse 12 comes in. Verse 12 says, blessed is the one who perseveres under trial, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him. So whatever our circumstances, our trials show us how much we need Jesus and how much we need to depend on him. And these verses say that if we truly understand our position in the gospel, and if we learn to take pride in it, where we focus on Jesus and what he's done for us and how we can serve him in our lives, then that's when we will have what it takes to persevere under trials. Have a good day, City Church.